Are you tired of seeing defense Deoxys on every team, but don't have one yourself? Are you sick of Lickitung dominating the meta? Do you want to see some off-meta picks do some real damage in the Venture Cup? Then you have come to the right place, because today we're going to be looking at JustHoneyBadger's Venture Cup tournament win with an incredibly interesting team of Toxicroak as their counter user, Talonflame, Quagsire, Linoone, Meganium, and Frostlass as their 10-point pick. So, really crazy team. They did give me some notes about how they built this team as well. But before we jump into that, before we jump into this video, I just want to say, hey, the video looks a bit different, doesn't it? Let me know what you think. We've certainly got some different aesthetics going on. So, yeah, let me know. But jumping into it, they gave me a few notes. So, fact number one, Frostlass is a Retro Cup monster. The Venture Cup obviously being built on the Venture Cup with the bands of Dark, Steel, and Fairy. Fact number two, most people are going to spend their points on safe picks, you know, the meta picks, your Defense Deoxys, your Lickitungs, stuff like that. So they aimed to build a team that was different to this sort of build. They could also lose leads, win games, you know, the sort of like the best team that's out there, essentially. So they did give me a warning that Talonflame is going to show some serious stock in this video, so definitely expecting to see some Talonflame do some big things, land some Brave Birds, land just bulk flame charges, and then also their bottom line was kind of that whoever is the most bold and the most daring will emerge victorious in the Venture Cup. So on that note, let's jump into it. Up against GP0305, who's got Defense Deoxys, Lantern, Haunter, Normal Castform, Gliscor, Shadow, and a Abomasnow Shadow. So let's jump into it. By the way, if you haven't already, do subscribe. You know, there's been plenty of videos coming out on this channel in the Venture Cup, and there will be more to come as well. So starting off with a pretty bad lead of Frostlass into Haunter, so going to swap out there into Linoone as that sort of like normal type with the ghost damage. That's its main role. And Defense Deoxys comes in, which is a pretty interesting swap in because it is going to be losing, like it's going to take super effective damage from the Shadow Claws while also doing super effective counters back. But most people aren't prepared for Linoone. They're prepared for your Lickitungs, your Lickies. So I'd imagine that most people are not prepared for how this matchup is going to go. So going to throw the Grass Knot here, just trying to put some pressure on this Defense Deoxys. That was a call up there that I might have blocked in some capacity. Getting the shield there from the Defense Deoxys. Going to have to burn a shield if they want to take these Deoxys down with Switch Advantage, but going to let Switch Advantage go. So down it goes, and then at this point, could bring in Frostlass to get some energy, or Quagsire to get some energy. Either way, both is pretty strong. Gonna decide to bring in Frostlass, get a little bit of energy, get some stuff going, because now that Haunter comes in, it's gonna have to eat it for Avalanche, or essentially be forced to shield if they want to keep Haunter around. And they do burn that last shield, swapping into Quagsire now, hoping to catch a Shadow Punch maybe. Haunter getting a lot of energy before Quagsire has a chance of taking it out. So this is a pretty scary spot for HoneyBadger to be in, but HoneyBadger don't care. HoneyBadger going to throw the Stone Edge onto that Shadow Gliscor. Definitely a little bit handy for HoneyBadger that that Gliscor is Shadow, because it means that it's going to take that extra 20% damage from these Stone Edges, which means that those two are going to take Gliscor out. Haunter's going to come in now. It's got to be at like 100 energy now, and this is a pretty scary spot to be in. So letting the first one come through. It is a Shadow Punch, so Quagsire is going to hang on. Going to threaten the Stone Edge, and does get the Stone Edge. That's just another call up the top there. And yeah, the Stone Edge going to take the Haunter out, and it's GG's on game one. So even though Haunter had heaps of energy there, it just needed too much. And unfortunately, the same lead, actually, we're showing the concept in action. Lose the lead, win the game, and we're seeing the exact same thing play out in this game too. Linoone into Deoxys, burning the shield here. It is just a rock slide. Going to farm up to 2 Grass Knots, but looks of it, not quite 2 Grass Knots. A little bit under. 1 Shadow Claw away. Going to throw the first Grass Knot here. Gets the shield. 1 more Shadow Claw. Does get the second Grass Knot through as well. Trying to get a shield out of this Deoxys. Does miss the bubble, so got great instead of excellent. Yeah, not going to be able to farm down again. Playing out the same way. Presumably not going to... Oh, actually, going to play it differently this time. Going to shield. Going to Shadow Claw down at this point. Is almost at a Grass Knot. 1 more Shadow Claw. In comes a Shadow Abomasnow. Did get up to the Thunder as well. Maybe like took some thinking time. Like, which move do I want to throw here? Decided to throw the Grass Knot. I think Thunder would have been better, although I think Grass Knot is a better move, so I'm not too certain on that one. But brings in the Frostlass, knowing that Frostlass is going to have a better time up against Abomasnow than up against Haunter. So, unfortunately, does let an Energy Ball come through, which does a ton of damage. That was a Haunter swap in there, so throwing the Avalanche, putting some pressure on, getting that last shield out of the Haunter, swapping it to Quagsire. Should be able to get to a Stone Edge pretty quickly. This is a little bit of a scary situation. They're running... never mind. They're running Shadow Punch Sludge Bombs. That is not as scary as if it was Shadow Punch Shadow Ball. Unfortunately, They've overfarmed it, so another Shadow Punch comes through. Quagsire able to hang on though, getting the Stone Edge off, which will take out Haunter. Then it's going to be that Abomasnow coming in, get one quick move of farm, and now Frostlass just needs to get to an Avalanche, but it's just too low, unfortunately. So Abomasnow going to take that one out, and it's now 1-1 in round 1. So going in here, if they did get that charge move off on time, I think it would have played out pretty differently. But Quagsire up against Deoxys. Not a great spot for Quagsire, but is going to be able to put a lot of kind of, what am I going to do into the Deoxys by using this Earthquake straight away. Lands it, does some nice damage on Deoxys, and swaps out into the Abomasnow. But because Quagsire had some energy ready to go, able to throw this Stone Edge that's going to be doing super effective damage. Does get the shield though, and swapping into the Frostlass, maybe trying to catch an Ice Weather Ball. Unfortunately, not the case. Shielding up this time, does not want to get hit by an Energy Ball again, and it was in fact an Energy Ball. An Energy Ball from a non-Shadow Abomasnow is like deadly enough to a Frostlass, but Shadow just makes it hurt that much more. Throwing the Avalanche though, and letting it go through, taking it out. In comes Deoxys now. He's pretty low, but again, farmed up the energy from before, so probably has enough for a Rock Slide and a half at this point. Lands the first one, gonna farm up to the next one. I feel like this would be a Psycho Boost. I feel like that was too quick to be 2 Rock Slides. Oh no, I had 2 Rock Slides. Oh, there you go. There you go. I wasn't counting clearly. At this point, gonna bring in that Lanoon to try and farm down, but Haunter was in the back, and the blind swap it to Haunter. That is pretty unfortunate for the opponent, I guess. This grass not gonna go through now. At this point, they should, just let it go. Bring Deoxys in. They've given up at this point. They know the game is lost, and that is GG's on round 1. And we've actually, we've made things a little bit quicker on ourselves. So now, instead of doing 4 clicks, 1 click, 2 click. I'm learning. We're getting better, but we are going to round 2 up against Nahu C137, who's got Lickitung, Deoxys Core, alongside Primeape, Noctowl, Normal Castform, and Meganium. So this is like that sort of standard team that JustHoneyBadger is like specifically targeting, like trying to beat the meta with this sort of anti-meta that is really powerful. It's about filling the roles as opposed to like filling the, having the big Pokemon. And we're going to see it straight up in Toxicroak, a very under the radar fighter up against Primeape, the most meta fighter in the 1-point slot. Swaps into Deoxys and Frostlass, so pretty decent-ish spot here. Frostlass can tank a Rock Slide from Deoxys, but Deoxys doesn't love eating a Shadow Ball from a Frostlass, so gets the shield there. Deoxys have farmed up a lot of energy, so potentially going for a back-to-back scenario. Burns the shield on the first Rock Slide, and one more counter, gets the second Rock Slide off here. Gonna let it come through though. Again, Frostlass is going to be able to tank it. I'm not sure if we know what Deoxys' second move is at this point. But going to throw the Avalanche to try and get a shield out of that Deoxys this time around. Does get the shield. It's a really nice play there. And going to go for a second Avalanche. This will take out the Deoxys at this range, I think. One way to find out. And yes, it does. There you go. We're learning. Hooray. But for us, that's going to get taken out by Noctowl, getting a little bit of energy advantage. And here we see Talonflame start to come out. And we will promise some spectacle, or just some strength coming from this Talonflame. Able to tank the Sky Attack. Here comes a Primeape in the back. That is a really rough swap there. I guess just knowing that Noctowl wouldn't be able to do much, but yikes, that is a rough spot to be in. Throwing one Flame Charge, swapping into Toxicroak, catching the charge move. This is Night Slash. It's going to do essentially nothing to Toxicroak. Yep, Toxicroak's going to be able to farm down this Primeape now. That Noctowl's going to come in the back. Primeape, Toxicroak is going to go straight for the Sludge Bomb here. Going to do some nice damage onto this Noctowl. Not quite taken out, but I guess that was a CMP tie. Letting Toxicroak go though, definitely didn't have to. Was that an undercharge? I feel like it normally does more damage than that. Maybe not. Interesting. But really good leader here going into game 2 with Frostlass up against the Noctowl, seeing an instant swap into Deoxys, but this is kind of still an alright spot. It's like, hey, Frost is actually pretty good in this matchup as well, so going to stay and go straight for the Avalanche, trying to get a shield out. Do get the shield, which is fantastic. We'll see if they do go for this strategy of like trying to go for 2 Avalanches, just like trying to burn as many shields as possible, if they are going to try and go for the Shadow Ball nuke this time. Actually swapping out into Toxicroak, trying to catch the Rock Slide there presumably, but did not work out. A Rock Slide really wouldn't do much damage at all, and letting the Psycho Boost come through, that is... It's hurtful, but Deoxys' attack is now debuffed, and a bunch of its energy is burned out, so Frostlass can do a little bit better here. Isn't as pressured to shield here, because that Rock Slide would have been debuffed, but does decide to shield anyway in case Talonflame can't deal with it with whatever's in the back, I suppose. But gonna throw the Avalanche here take out the Deoxys, Lickitung comes in. I was like, normal, Noctowl? No, Lickitung is coming in here, but he's pretty rough for the Frostlass, so going to throw an Avalanche and then dip into the Talonflame, who has shown himself to be pretty nice up against the Noctowl as well, so going to soak this Body Slam from the Lickitung. I'm expecting a swap out into Noctowl, pretty quick smart from the opponent, because otherwise they're just leaving their Noctowl to eventually get eaten by the Frostlass. First Flame Charge lands, already buffed up once. Here comes the Noctowl, going for the Brave Bird to try and nuke this thing out of existence. Do we see a Nahu's last shield come up? I feel like we don't. Oh, no, we do. There you go. So Noctowl has to burn a charge move here. No, they didn't burn the charge move. And unfortunately, JustHoneyBadger did not realize fast enough that they did get the Brave Bird, so they didn't have to throw the Flame Charge. But here comes Frostlass, going to be able to tank this Sky Attack for sure. And then he's going to want to farm down the Noctowl. Unfortunately, yeah, they had the charge move ready to go. So if they threw the Brave Bird, that actually might have swung the tide. Unfortunately, although I guess Lickitung would still be facing up against the Frostlass, so it still wouldn't be a great situation. But going into game 3 here of round 2, we do have the Frostlass up against a normal Castform. Not a great spot to be in, so again, losing a lead, but we have to win this game to win the round, so I'm expecting a win, to say the least. The opponent didn't time their charge move great, so Talonflame did get a lot of free turns there with the Incinerate. Going for the first Flame Charge here though, boosting up their attack some, getting a shield out of the Castform, which is, I don't know if it's the best shield, because, you know, the standard play of, like, Talonflame is going to be boosting its attack over time, so you'd be better off shielding a later charge move if you're going to burn a shield. Like, this Flame Charge is going to do more damage than the first Flame Charge, but Incinerate was also already doing so much damage to that Castform, and they really did just want to get those rock Weather Balls off. So Deoxys comes in, one Rock Slide would be really devastating for Talonflame, but it's already on an absolute tear. One Flame Charge burning the last shield. They haven't quite got to that last Incinerate to take this thing out, but still has done an incredible job. Rockslide taking it out though. Frostlass going to come in here. I'm not really sure what's going on. Oh, no, don't tell me this glitch is back. I thought that glitch was gone. The pop-up switchy thing. Oh man, that really disappoints me that that's back. And this is how I'm learning about it. There was a swap out into Noctowl there. This Avalanche is still going to do some nice damage. So I would expect stay in, farm up energy up to something a little bit closer to the Shadow Ball, and then swapping out into Toxicroak to try and to make sure that Noctowl didn't take out Frostlass. So really nicely executed there, and actually does take it out. Deoxys going to come in, going to get a few counters there. Deoxys gets a little bit of energy, but Frostlass spamming the Avalanche, which will take out the Deoxys at this range, and that is going to take it out and take out the round, which means we are going to know we're 2-0 going out into round 3 up against Dark Ninja Shark, who's got Lickitung, Primeape. Nope, I forgot to change it again. Click. Who's got Regirock, Defense Deoxys, Drifblim, Meganium, Linoon, and running Castform. So Linoon, respect Linoon here. I don't think I've actually seen a Linoon in practice. I got a low charge warning halfway through the first battle, so I've just decided to rewind it. We'll start from the start of the battle, and now that we're plugged in and charging. So jumping in now, we're going to see the Linoon up against the Drifblim, which is a really good lead matchup. Like, incredibly good. Like, Drifblim pretty much has to swap out at some point, because it's not going to be able to Icy Wind this thing down. Deoxys does catch the Thunder, which is a really nice catch from Dark Ninja Sharks. I mean, they have the Linoon on their team, so, like, they know what's up. They know how many counts, how many Shadow Claws it takes to get to a Thunder. They need to when to swap. So, Meganium into Deoxys, which is a pretty interesting matchup, because Rockslide doesn't do too much damage. Psycho Boost? Is that what it's called? How have I forgotten the name of the move? It doesn't do like tons and tons either, but Frenzy Plant really does hit like a truck. So Deoxys burning the first shield, and unfortunately for the opponent, gets to the next Frenzy Plant before they can get to a charge move, letting Deoxys go down and bringing Drifblim back in, which means that whatever they've got in the back is going to be weak to Meganium as well. So maybe like Raining Castform or Regirock, but like, if they knew that Deoxys was going to go down anyway, they definitely would not have burnt the shield, because otherwise Drifblim would come in to just soak up all of the Frenzy Plants, all of the Earthquakes that would have been resisted. So, a little bit unfortunate for Dark Ninja Shark. They would have had one extra shield, which maybe would have turned things. We'll see how things play out. But HoneyBadger swapping into the Talonflame, and we're seeing Regirock in the back. So, yeah, that would have been weak to that Meganium. So a little bit unfortunate that it has gone down, because Talonflame not going to have the best time up against Regirock. Like, it is still going to do a fair bit of damage. Like, these Flame Charges are going to add up. The Incinerates are going to add up, especially as they're being boosted and boosted and boosted. But it's definitely a rough little spot. Like, actually, it does have 2 shields, but not burning one of them. Letting Talonflame go. Like, one Stone Edge, like, because of its double super effective, it's definitely going to go down. But I guess Linoon does have Shadow Claw to fight Drifblim, and Grass Knot to fight this Regirock, and had tons of energies. Actually, not a bad play. So I'm going to throw this second Grass Knot, keeping both shields for that Drifloon, I suppose. Because Drifloon does have a little bit of energy. Yeah, throwing the first, I'm assuming Drifloon's just going to go straight Icy Wind, because there's no reason to go for any Shadow Balls here, just boost. Yeah, it's not going to be enough, though. You're going to be able to burn the shield. One more Shadow Claw is going to take out that Drifloon, and that's going to be game 1 going to Honey Badger, because but we are going to see that not great matchup start off in the battle 2 with Talonflame up against Regirock. So Honey Badger's got 2 grassy mons in the back. Tried to swap into Linoon there, who does have a Grass Knot. Unfortunately, Incinerate is just way too long. It is really hard to do, like, you know, sack swaps and all sorts of fancy stuff there. You know, was mad tapping on the Linoon again, but again, Incinerate just way too long. So does gonna eat a Focus Blast into Linoon, and that is a really bad spot there. I guess gonna bring in Meganium. Oh, brings in the Talonflame. Okay, gonna throw the Flame Charge here. Gonna start boosting up again. This time does not have the shield advantage, so we'll see if Honey Badger goes for the same play of, like, not burning the shield, just letting Talonflame go and letting Meganium sweep up the rest. Ooh, Ninja Shark, keeping the energy on the Regirock instead of throwing. That is a really interesting play. Like, they must be confident that whatever's in the back is going to be... Oh, they must be confident there's a Frostlass in the back. Although then, Linoon is also good against... I'm not really sure why Regirock didn't throw the charge move there, to be honest. But going to shield the Grass Knot, which is pretty unfortunate, getting baited there. Throwing the Flame Charge back up against that Linoon. This Talonflame is super boosted now, so that Linoon is gone. Bringing in Deoxys instead of Regirock. I'm still not too sure what's going on here, but... Flame Charge, definitely going to do a nice bit of damage onto this Deoxys. Not quite taking it out. Ideally would have gone for the Brave Bird instead, and 1 Incinerate is not enough. 1 HP and a Dream. Deoxys is finally going to take this, just terrorizing Talonflame out. Meganium comes in. Going to be able to tank the charge move from this Regirock, and I think he's going to be able to Vine Whip down. Just really unfortunate. Like, they bet their marbles on that Regirock being useful later, but unfortunately it just didn't come out at a better time than up against the Talonflame. So we're actually seeing the Meganium was not done with Regirock, starting it in the lead. Seeing the swap out into Deoxys and the swap out into Quagsire. So again, this is that spot where, like, Earthquake is going to do a fair amount of damage here. So we'll just have to wait and see what they do shields wise. Do you let it come through again? We'll see if this is a Psycho Boost. I think Psycho Boost would do more damage than a Rock Slide. Does land the Psycho Boost. Actually doesn't do as much damage as I would have thought, to be honest. There you go. So another Psycho Boost coming through, the back-to-back. And at this point, Quagsire isn't going to quite get to a... Yeah, not going to quite get to a Stone Edge before a Psycho Boost comes through. Going to let it go down here. At this point, the Deoxys is, like, super attack debuffed. Like, it has no attack stat left. Linoon going to come in, and they're seeing the swap out into the Mirror Linoon. There's not really, like... Honey Badger doesn't really have a great counter here with Linoon and Meganium. And I feel like... I guess Meganium maybe has a little bit of a better time up against the Deoxys in the back because it isn't weak to counter. So maybe this is the right play, staying in. Burning the first shield on the opponent's side. Swapping into Cat. That's a nice catch. That's a nice catch. Yes. Yeah. I'm going to see the Frenzy Plant thrown on this Honey Badger. Boom. Have they both got shiny? Is that what I'm looking at? Have they both got shiny? I think they do both have shiny. But Frenzy Plant going now. Take out the Linoon. Gonna see the Regirock come in, who had the energy ready to go. See the shield come up because they want to land a Frenzy Plant on this Regirock. Can they get to the Frenzy Plant? Ooh, seeing the swap out into Deoxys, but they didn't fall for it. They didn't, like, tap it straight away. Able to farm up some extra energy before Deoxys can get a charge move off. Take out Deoxys. Regirock's gonna come back in, and we're seeing the swap into Linoon. Throwing the Grass Knot. Gonna try and force this last shield out of Regirock, and then as soon as Meganium comes back in, ooh, Shadow Claws. Look how much Shadow Claws doing. Linoon is absolutely, like, wow. What? Nice. Nice job, Linoon. Very well done. Taking out Regirock, still a shield in play as well, but they would have noted to take it out regardless either way. Okay, so we're going into round 4 now, which is the final round up against Darth Ferret. Unfortunately, the first game didn't record, so instead they've recorded a voiceover to kind of give some information about what happened, and also some of their thoughts as well. So, roll the thingy.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching up until this point. If you haven't already, make sure you give a like and subscribe for Steve. He works really hard to put out this content and help us all prepare for our upcoming Venture Cups, so show him some love. And also shout out to everyone in the Tampa Bay area, Pokemon Go community, Speediest Chief, Lyndon Ryu, Darth Ferret here, all these guys who play PvP in this area. We got a really good community going here, so mad respect for everyone that was in this practice tournament as well. The first battle here had some lag and it didn't end up recording, but he led Deoxys, Zangoose, and Mew against my Talonflame lead with Meganium and Linoon behind. Ended up farming some energy with my Talonflame and swapping out to catch the Rock Slide on Meganium, and ultimately he stayed in the matchup there, so I was able to flip it around and end up winning the game in the end with Linoon locked in against Mew there at the end. So this will be the final battle. The third one I just conceded because the lag started acting up again, but hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks so much for watching.
So yeah, thanks for that. And also, yeah, well, I guess there's one game to go. One game to go in the, well, they've done one game. We're going into the second game to win it all. With Toxicroak up against Nidoqueen, which is a pretty interesting matchup, because Mud Bomb is going to be super effective. Catching the Mud Bomb onto Deoxys there, which is a really nice catch from Darth Ferret. I mean, Darth Ferret knows what they're doing. They're like, you know, one of the top trainers in the world. They definitely know what's up. Linoon is a nice little counter in the back. I guess they don't really have like a solid counter to, I guess Meganium is probably the best counter they have to Deoxys. So swap in, tried to catch a move there, but Deoxys instead just decided to farm it to 1,000,000 energy, shielding up the first Rock Slide and getting a Frenzy Plant off before another charge move can come through. They might have gone for the Rock Slide, throw a counter, throw a Rock Slide. No, they're actually throwing more counters. So I'm not really sure what they're going for here. They've charged up to like 100 energy again. Maybe they're going for a back-to-back Psycho Boost at this point. No, just Rock Slides. Meganium is going to be able to tank another Rock Slide as well. Meganium is a really just thick grass Pokemon. Like, it can take hits, absolutely. Burning the shield. No more shields on Darth Ferret's side. And we'll see what does come through here. There's the Psycho Boost. It does take out the... Oh, no, it doesn't. It does not take out Meganium, but one more counter did. So seeing Linoon come in here, going to try and Shadow Claw down potentially. Again, doesn't really care about the charge moves, and the attack on Deoxys has been reduced because of the Psycho Boost, so at this point you can pretty safely farm down. Tons of energy on this Linoon now. And there's the Nidoqueen coming in, so throwing the Grass Knot, which would be neutral because of the ground and poison typing. Does do a fair amount of damage because it's a Shadow Nidoqueen, so it really takes that extra hurt. Shielding up the Poison Fang here, and swapping into Toxicroak to clear the debuff, and we're seeing the Mew in the back, so we don't know what the moveset is at this point. JustHoneyBadger might have some idea from the first game, potentially. So Sludge Bomb going through does tons of damage, trying to get to another Mud Bomb, gets the Mud Bomb off. That is clutch. That is super clutch. Going to take out the Mew with this Mud Bomb. And then Nidoqueen's going to come in the back, has to throw a charge move to take this thing out, and doesn't. Nidoqueen are going with the simultaneous KO, and with that, JustHoneyBadger ends up sweeping the tournament, taking the dub, taking the win. No Lickitung, no Defense Deoxys, none of those normal lickers, going with the Honeybadger, Linoon, and Silph, along with a really interesting pairing with Toxicroak, Talonflame, Quagsire, and gaining Frost there. So really interesting team, really nice gameplay. And yeah, thank you for sharing the footage. And again, there are some more tournaments. I shoutcasted Nightmares Regional 6-round sweep yesterday. That's going to be linked in like 20 seconds. But yeah, thank you to my patrons and supporters over on Twitch as well. I have figured out that I can move this. Haha. I'm learning, I promise, I'm learning. But yeah, with that said, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, especially the subscribe one. But yeah, with that said, again, thank you for watching. I need to move myself out of here. Get me out of here. But again, regional tournaments over there. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because there will be another Venture Cup tournament coming tomorrow, maybe the day after. And my regionals is this Saturday. So I'm looking to learn as much as I can about this tournament. So with that said, subscribe and see you next time.